Welcome back, everybody, to Fallout Equestria, Chapter 20, Part 3 and 4. So, as you can tell, I decided to just do the cut videos and keep posting them to YouTube. It's 6 in the morning, got some milk. Let's, what's this? It's my grandpa's birthday. That's why I'm doing this so early, because we got a party to go to later.
Along the way, cooking, weapon maintenance, and a lot of practice hacking computers to get into locked doors and safes. I thought of all the hacking and lockpicking I had done, driven largely by curiosity and a need to explore and to know. Even if what I learned didn't mean anything. Like, keeping the memory was an acknowledgement of and a tribute to the past. Joke Blue, she was the one who knew her way around the weapons and had the skill to disarm traps, on which trailed off as a clearly painful memory hit her.
No, something bad happened.
Want to talk about it? Ahmed smiled, a tear in her eye. Most traps. Some cruel bastard rigged up a baby carriage with explosives, used the corpse of a newborn colt and recorded of babies crying to lure the victims in.
Ooh, that's
cringed,
fucked.
horrified. By the time she was close enough to realize the baby was dead, it was too late to run. She tried to disarm it, but... The dear unicorn's voice broke off, choked. Now, it was my turn to hold homage. I stretched out on Homage's bed as she gave me a massage. Either she had learned a lot from our visit to the spa, or she'd had practice. Either way.
Wasn't she just, breaking down at the loss of her friend, maybe lover? I mean, it happened a while ago, so she kind of dealt with the grief, but bringing up those memories, you need to comfort her, and you were holding her, and then we suddenly went to her giving you a massage. I feel like that should be the opposite.
It was wonderful. If I was a cat, I would have been purring. I felt her press against me as she leaned close to whisper in my ear. I know you're under doctor's orders to relax and not exert yourself. You listen about as well as most of his other patients. I nodded, not really wanting to talk about that. Or really about anything. What she was doing with her hooves was divine. She was pressing them in circles against the back of my legs and at the base of my rump. Not as skilled as the professional spa ponies, maybe, but unspeakably more delightful.
Is this how it starts? Are we getting to that? Do I need to censor this?
I won't apologize for helping you break them further. I had no idea what she was. Oh, hello! I gasped as I felt her tongue someplace I'd only imagined it before.
Yeah.
Pleasure burst through my whole body.
Yep. We went there.
And she was just getting started.
We got to the porn.
This was definitely going to qualify as...
I wasn't expecting this to chapter 30.
I sat up, startled, my gaze drawn to the dark window. Beside me, Homage stirred in the bed, opening an eye as she magically shifted the covers. Little Pip? She questioned sleepily. I told her I thought I'd seen a flash of green outside the window. It reminded me of the flash I'd noticed in the fog nearly a week ago. Probably just a balefire phoenix, Homage dismissed, nuzzling close. There are several of them in Manhattan. Yeah, I nodded.
There's a fly.
I
don't want to take my milk.
We spent the next morning together. Homage left the bed long enough to cook us a breakfast.
Aww.
And then a couple hours later to poke around in the emergency broadcast station above us. The news this time included a retelling of my brave and daring rescue of Blackwing's talons, including congratulations from DJ Pony on once again stomping 2 eggs under 1 hoof. Apparently, I had taken out 3 alicorns single-hoofedly by blowing up a raider compound. I buried my head under the sheets.
The legend grows!
Surprising to me. In fact, I would have been surprised if Calamity hadn't given her express permission to lay that on my hooves. Homage had proven she really did enjoy making me squirm. Every way she could. She was gone for the better part of an hour, leaving me to my thoughts. When she returned, I reluctantly decided to broach an uncomfortable topic. The black opal. That thing? She asked, immediately knowing what I was talking about. I expected her to ask why I wanted it, but instead, how did you know I had one of those?
That's a good question.
I bit my lip. An acquaintance wants me to procure it. I looked away, then back into her eyes. I was very tempted to tell the pony just fuck off, but I figured I would ask.
You
Please
should
feel
at
free to
least
say no.
ask.
I don't want anything to come between us right now. Or really, ever. Homage regarded me for a painful moment, then smirked. Dear, the only thing come between us for the last several hours has been sweat. But even I have to attend to business.
Damn.
As much as I want to slack off. I'm not going to begrudge you doing the same. I breathed a sigh of relief. And yes, you can have it. She caught my eyes with an earnest gaze. I have a gift for you too. But the black opal. Think of it as a down payment. I have a quest that I want to hire you for.
Another. I love it when they actually
eyes
use
widened
the
in
word
surprise.
quest.
Anything. She laughed. You might not say that after I tell you what it is, but you and your friends, you're planning to head towards Philadelphia, aren't you? The laughter in her voice died as she spoke that name. I nodded firmly. I'm still convinced that something is escalating in the equestrian wasteland. Something involving Red Eye and the Alicorns.
Oh.
I know they've been around for quite a while, I told her. Long enough for Steelhooves to become known to the monsters as the almighty Alicorn Hunter. Sarcastically, at the very least. Questioning my theory. The Alicorns have been around for a long time, right? But I'm guessing they've gotten a lot more common. Homage considered that.
That's interesting. It's been a long time since I played Fallout 1. That's kind of a deviation from the normal plotline of Fallout 1, I think, because the super mutants were a actual new threat that just appeared, if I'm remembering correctly. If my earlier theory, my nightmare, is right, and Twilight is the master, because it's pretty clear the Alicorns are the super mutants, then it makes sense that unlike the normal master, who, again, if I'm remembering correct, just fucking invade! Launched an all-out invasion across the wasteland. It makes sense that Twilight would try to lay a bit more low, and build up a lot more than the master did. That said, if it wasn't for the Vault Dweller, the master would have won anyway, so the idea of a fucking super mutant lord actually being quiet and building up for years is it's not going to end well. Like, jeez.
Hadn't even heard of them for about 10 years ago. Now they're all over the place in Canterlot.
Oh.
And this last year I've noticed groups of them showing up in Manhattan too.
Never mind.
I nodded again. When I uncover what's going on, DJ Pony will be the first
I was
one
literally
to know.
1 second off.
And all Equestria will soon know afterwards, Homage swore. Although, I might get a foreleg up on you. I suspected the innuendo was intentional. If you complete this not-so-little task for me, you remember that bank of blank screens at the EBS? I had taken note of them when she first allowed me inside the MAS EBS, and let me look around. I told her so. Those are the feeds from the Philadelphia Tower. Red Eye has taken control of that tower, or at least the 3% of the tower that I normally have access to, and locked me out of it. If you're going that way, I want you to attach an override to the mainframe in the tower station. That should allow DJ Pony to finally have eyes in that horrible place. Red Eye has operated long enough in the shadows. I put a hoof down, although stopping a pillow didn't have nearly the effect. Agreed. Homage pulled down the picture of Splendid Valley, revealing a wall safe with a door made of thickly armored glass. It opened for her magic with a click. There were 3 items inside, 2 of which she floated out, giving to me.
Guns.
The first was the black opal.
Oh.
I gazed at the item full of memories that Watcher wanted so badly. Oh, I want to give this to you as a gift, Homage said with a soft smile and a warm but insistent voice as she floated out a brightly pink statuette of a very familiar pony. I had never seen Pinkie Pie look so young and so alive.
Really? You have
I
a
half
picture of
expected
Pinkie
the
Pie?
statuette to jump up, animated by the sheer energy in her expression, and start bouncing about the room. This, I realized, was the real Pinkie Pie. Twilight's Pinkie Pie. In comparison, the mare I had seen in the memory seemed like a shadow. It was a gift given to me from the previous DJ Pony, who got it from the one before him. Oh, I'm told it was given to the original DJ Pony, Final Scratch, by the mayor of the Ministry of Morale herself. The
Oh.
figurine gave off such an aura of unbridled happiness that I couldn't imagine any pony's morale sagging about her.
Oh.
It served me well, and now
Why does everything gotta go to shit?
I want to give it to you. I looked at Homage, feeling a startled reluctance. I couldn't. This was an heirloom. It was. All I know what you've been through, and all I know what she went through it too. You beat it. She didn't. I want you to have this as a reminder, as something to look at anytime you feel the urge
She
to
didn't
bite down
really
on
get
another
a
mint owl.
chance to beat it. Let's be fair. She didn't really get
swallowed
the
hard.
chance.
And, nodding solemnly, understanding the gravity of this gift, I reached out with my magic and wrapped up the little Pinkie Pie in a telekinetic sheath, immediately feeling a jolt. Everything became clearer.
Just,
My body became more alive.
I mean,
It was
think about the super mutants. And fuck them. They're not really well, they are alicorns, but they're super mutants first. If Twilight's the master, I'm trying to think what her plan is. It could be the same as the actual masters and just become, turn everyone to alicorns. But I don't know. This doesn't. Then again, it's been like what 200 years, and like shit's gone to hell, and there was police state, and so I mean, the Twilight we know and love is probably like some sort of horrible mad scientist that experiments on living people. But all I could think about is what I would do if I was in the master situation. One, if we're a hive mind, I'm getting out of that fucking nasty goo body that the master had, and I'm moving on to one of the alicorn bodies, because fuck that shit. If I have a choice, I will not spend the rest of my eternity as a goo monster. That is not good. Not cool. Two, I would actually try build... Here's the thing. Instead of forcing people with slavery and stuff, you're an alicorn. You have exceptional magical power. You have presumably long life. You look damn cool too. So why not, instead of being like raiders or slavers or just monstrous mutants that go around killing everybody, why not instead do a hearts and mind campaign? Like offer protection, offer safety, offer sanctuary. And the people, the good people, the ones you actually want to be a part of your Gestalt hive mind, will come to you. You know, the ones that can actually build a civilization. Not these slaving, marauding idiots we see around. But the people who actually have the morals and the intelligence and all that stuff needed to actually build something. They will come to you looking for these things. They'll see you they'll see your alicorns as paragons. And then they'll join you willingly. Because why not? You're offering all this good stuff. You gave them protection. You're offering long life. You're offering to become something greater than you were before. A hearts and mind campaign. Propaganda is amazing. That's something that we in the Western world kind of don't really think about or look down on. Mostly because of a lot of shit. Like, we don't think about it, but propaganda is an amazing thing. Like, the alicorns could have done it. In this story, the alicorns really could have just taken over the wasteland with hearts and minds alone. If the master is Twilight, that just shows how far she's fallen. Because she, with all that power, with all this stuff, they could have just taken over with hearts and minds. They could have kicked out the raiders. They could have made things safe, and yet instead of having to enslave people and force them into alicorn... Again, I'm operating on the assumption that alicorns work like super mutants in Fallout, where you have to dunk them in the FIV solution, the FEV. I assume that's what they're going on here, and they appear to be a hive mind, from what I've been able to gather. You really could have... There was a way easier way of doing this, Master Twilight, if it even is Twilight. I assume it is. There were some hints.